official Starship Collections review, and this time we're doing issue number 86. Finally got these fuckers on time for a change, although I am missing my jellyfish. I've called Eaglemoss this afternoon, and they assured me it's on its way, but for some reason they didn't package them together. However, just a bit of housekeeping on these. I'm going to be getting, well, the jellyfish is on its way, so I'll review that when it comes. They're still out of stock of the Mirror NX-01, but when that comes in, I will review that too. Unless I can get one, anybody willing to send me one for free, that'd be nice. But I'll have a look on Evil Bay and see what I can do there. And I will be getting the SS Yorktown as well when I get paid. And they have just announced another shuttle set. Oh, I need that too. So all the things that are coming out, I will be getting. Don't panic, and I will review them when I get them. So anyway, bit of housekeeping. So glossy magazine as usual, and the ship itself, but more on that in a little bit. So we'll get cracking straight onto this one. Specification: operated by the Gorn Hegemony. I can never pronounce that right. Is it Hegemony or Homogeny? Something like that. Type warship, in operation 23rd century, length 220 metres, approximately, top speed warp 7.5, weapons disruptors. And we've got a beautiful CG render of it there, really cool ship. Very unusual as well. First contact did not occur with the Gorn. First contact with the Gorn did not occur until 2267, but Starfleet had heard about the species. Heard about the species before. In 2254, an Orion pirate called Harad Sar told Captain Archer that the Gorn brewed the finest Meridor in the 5 systems. This was a blue-coloured drink that Archer found to be delicious. Harad Sar also said the Gorn Society was run by the Gorn Hegemony. The Gorn Starship was equipped with 4 nacelles, giving it an unusual appearance. It was enormously powerful, bristling with weapons. It also had impressive deflector shields that were capable of withstanding a full spread of phaser and photon torpedo fire without incurring any damage. Pretty impressive for a 23rd century vessel. And then we've got some images of the episode itself. Arena. We've got a Metron there, a bloke in a dress. But it's the 23rd century. It's the 23rd century. Who are we to judge? The Gorn were a reptilian species with tough, leathery skin, leathery green skin. They were more than 2 meters tall and had a dense musculature that made them much more stronger than humans. Their bulk meant that they were slow moving, however, and they could easily be outmaneuvered by most humanoids. While they had been slow moving, they were obviously very intelligent. They could build advanced spaceships on par with Starfleet vessels. And then we get the topographical view, which is really cool. I do like these ones. It does remind me of something, and I can't quite place what it reminds me of. If I'm honest, it's not... You could put that in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. Because they have a species in the Star Wars universe. Bosk is a member, and I can't remember the species. Not unlike the Gorn, actually. Despite their language being very different than that of most humanoids, the Gorn possessed technology that could broadcast messages that sounded like they originated from a Federation source. A century after Captain Kirk's confrontation with the Gorn, the Federation had built another settlement on Cestus III, indicating that the territorial dispute had been rectified. Cassidy Yates' youngest brother lived there. Yeah, he had a baseball team called the Pike City Pioneers. They had 6 teams, and they were trying to organise a couple more. So yeah, there we go. They played baseball, that was it. Yeah, and in not Explorers, a season 3 episode, I don't know, Deep Space Nine, and I can't think of the episode offhand. The first introduction of Cassidy Yates, I think it is. So it's pretty cool. Famous flight. When the crew of the USS Defiant NX-74205 travel back in time to Space Station K7, Captain Sisko told Jadzia Dax he would like to have asked Kirk about his now legendary fight with the Gorn. Deleted dialogue. Originally, there were going to be reference to the Gorn in Star Trek Nemesis when Captain Picard delivered his best man speech, Troy's wedding. He recalled that the bachelor party included a Gorn, but the line was omitted from the film. And then we've got designing the Starship. Now, this never appeared in the original series. It did, however, appear in the remastered original series, which, if you've not seen, you really need to get on Blu-ray because it looks amazing. What they did was... in fact, I'll go through that because there's a section on this magazine, but I'll just go through this for you now. And so they had to create a new ship for the Gorn. And it was just basically... Usually in the original series, unless it was a ship that was in an episode, particularly the early seasons, it was just usually a blob of light on the view screen moving from left to right. And so they decided that it was an opportunity they didn't want to miss. So they created the Gorn Starship. And who designed this one? Designed by Neil Ray. That's cool. It does fit into the original series very well. I am well impressed. Like the Stella Harry Mudd ship, it's a very cool addition to that, I think. And then we've got remastering the original series. This is quite a nice read, actually. Like I said, they've gone through all the original series stuff. I mean, if you look at the original series as it was broadcast back then, it looks horribly dated. But it has a little charm to it. But now they CG'd all the special effects. They made them consistent, they made them crisp, they made them look like if CG was available back in the 60s, this is how they would do it, and it's very cool. I mean, the Enterprise doesn't do any barrel rolls, and there's no dynamic camera views. They would do, because the original Enterprise had about, I think it was about 5 or 6 shots. The famous one orbiting the planet, the one from the title sequence, the one at warp, and the one that would, the two that would end an episode. That one that would fly past the camera real slow, and then one would it'd fly towards the camera, cut to another angle of it travelling the other way, and that's how most episodes would end. This, however, they would do new shots of it passing by the camera, focusing on areas, but really beautiful shots, and nothing like you wouldn't expect it to be any different, But adding star bases that weren't there and making things look alive, making the backgrounds on planets look alive, particularly when we're on a star base. I think it might be the episode Court Marshall, where they beam down to a planet with a star base on it, and you see shuttles in the background taking off and things like that. It's really cool. It's really, really, it's what Lucas did to the special edition, but better. I mentioned Star Wars twice then. Something wrong. So we've got the original first shot of the pilot episode, the cage there. Got beautiful CG render of the Enterprise, and it looks fantastic. And then we've got this episode from iMud, in which an android called Norman takes command of the Enterprise to Harry Mudd's planet. And the original shot of the android panel is a very much 60s, wires, a couple of flashing lights and resistors and things, and they CG'd a really cool android-looking panel there. And what they did as well is you could obviously see where the patch was. So they've obviously taken the original negative of that and CGI'd it in, and there's no obvious patch where it is, which is really cool. So that's when CG's where it does, is brilliant. And then we've got, like, in this famous episode, the call in Make It Time, you just see the burning on the wall, but you actually see the phaser fire there. This chronometer is all CG'd as well. It's a digital clock rather than an analog clock that turns over. And you got, like, beautiful shots of the Enterprise passing by the camera there. And then you've got the a scene from Operation Annihilate, which was originally storyboarded, but could never be filmed in the show. And there's because what they do is to kill the Denevian neuroparasites, they drop satellites in orbit, which reflect the sunlight to the areas that they are. And we finally find out what, this is the Corgi one by the way, what this big yellow section is on the Enterprise. On the bottom there, I always thought it was the warp core ejection hatch, and it isn't. It's the satellite jettison hatch, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got the famous shot of the force field that's shaped like a hand from Who Mourns for Adonais. Because in the original episode you just see the hand holding the Enterprise, you don't see the planet in the background, which actually makes it a lot better with the planet there. So yeah, and then that's who's that? Flint's Palace. That looks brilliant. It really does. Sorry, I've talked way too much about the CG of the remastered Trek there. We've got some more shots as well. Mount Seleia and Vulcan as well, which is really cool. You actually see people walking to it. That is a really cool shot from Doomsday Machine, particularly when Kirk and crew have boarded the Constellation and they reactivate the view screen, and you see, in the original shot, you just see the Doomsday Machine and you see the Enterprise sort of falling into it. This one you can actually see the Enterprise firing on the view screen, which is really cool. And then earlier on in the episode as well, you see close-up shots and you see like an asteroid hitting the hull and breaking up. You know, that stuff like that is brilliant. I love it. That's the planet I'm talking about there. You can makes it look a bit more real. You can see ships in the background and things like that. Instead of just looking like a soundstage. And then we've got on screen. And of course, first appearance is in Arena. I think it's the only appearance. Original series, designed by Neil Ray. We've got some trivia. The noises the Gorn made provided by actor Theodore Cassidy, or Ted Cassidy. He provided the menacing voice of Balok in Star Trek, the episode the Corbomite Maneuver. Cassidy was 6'9" and played Rook, pictured below, the ancient android discovered by Roger Corby in the episode What Little Girls Are Made Of. He is perhaps best known for portraying Butler Lurch in the television series The Addams Family. The Gorn suit was worn by stuntman Bobby Clark and Gary Coombs, while extra Bill Blackthorne wore it in the close-ups. Bill Blackthorne often played stuff like that. He was also a relief helmsman occasionally as well. Now, little tidbit about Ted Cassidy there. Yeah, he played Lurch in the original TV series of The Addams Family. And the guy who plays Mr. Hom in Next Generation, and the name escapes me at the minute, he played Lurch in the Addams Family movies with Raul Julia, which are great movies. You should go watch them. Also, like I say, he provided the voice of the Gorn, the noise. He also provided the voice of Godzilla in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, which is very underrated. I like it. It's a product of its time. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Now, in Star Trek Online, you meet the Gorn, and in one of the noises the Gorns make is one of the roars Godzilla did in that cartoon. So it's a nice little throwback to Ted Cassidy, which is really cool. I know, a bit convoluted, but I got there. Willie's Shoe Service was a small business located near Paramount Pictures and run by Willie Rivera. I'm sorry, I've probably mispronounced that. I'm really sorry. He provided made-to-order footwear for film and TV, including pull-on boots worn by Captain Kirk and crew for location shooting. In Arena, however, William Shatner wore flat-soled lace boots for safety. In the alternate Kelvin timeline, which is now being called, it's the reboot universe, Dr. Leonard McCoy told Carol Marcus that he once performed an emergency section a cesarean section on a Gorn, delivering 8 Gorn babies, all of whom came out biting. Now, if I know anything about reptilian species, they lay eggs, so that's wrong. So anyway, that's the magazine, and you get the nice shot of the ship on the back there. A bit convoluted in this one, I do apologise. On to the ship itself. Fucking I'll talk for 15 minutes and I ain't even got to the ship yet. I do apologise. I've said that 3 times now. And here's the ship itself. Very unusual. It is very original series, but it's very unusual. It does look like it should go that way as well. But it's really cool. I really like it. It's very unusual. I can't wait to put it with me original series ships. I like the market, the details there. I love the section there, and it does look like it would be built by the original series production team. It's got a real strange sort of aft section here. Impulse there. Has it got clear plastic? It does. In the four nacelles, it's got clear plastic, which is really cool. And I like the kind of... It's coming up a little bit more copper on camera, but it's more like a gunmetal in real life.
All systems are functioning with it.
Shut up. Sorry, it's my computer. And it is... Yeah, it's looking more coppery, sort of bronzy, actually, on screen there. But in real life, it's more of a gunmetal grey. There's not to be said about it, really. I like it. It's unusual. It's weird. If you're cherry picking, I would definitely pick this one up. If you like unusual ships, this is definitely one. If you're an original series fan, you should get it. It is a tad small. Here's the Bajoran assault ship from issue 84. So you can see this is much bigger. So they could have upscaled it a little bit, but it ain't too bad. Excuse me. It's really nice. I really do like it. It is unusual. If you are an original series fan, this would, like I said, this will look great next to your Romulan Bird of Prey, the original Enterprise, the D7 battlecruiser, and Mud's ship. Yeah, it's really cool. I like it. I like the weird nacelles as well. It is, instead of being uniformly, uniform nacelles like top and bottom, they're a bit different. So I'm guessing that, these may be backup nacelles or, used for, manipulating the warp field maybe to make it much more efficient. Or it's just weird, and I like it. It's got some nice detail on the side there, some disruptor cannons. However, having the disruptor cannons here seems a little illogical, because if you manage to fire and disable the weapon there, you've more chance to disable the warp drive. It's just weird. I'm guessing the bridge is at the top there, and it could be there. Yeah. Some nice purple detail at the bottom there. Is it purple? Yeah, some nice purple detailing at the bottom. But I really like it. It's unusual, and I like unusual ships. Like I say, it could have been easy. This section, looking at this angle, could be a Klingon. You could you could mod this to make it into another Klingon ship, or like a Promelian battlecruiser maybe. We need one of those, please, Eagle Moss. Yes, you could easily fly it that way, and it wouldn't look out of place. So yeah, just weird, unusual. You should definitely pick this one up. Hats off, Eagle Moss. I do like the ridges on the impulse engine there. And again, it's strange that the impulse engine would be at the back there. I would put them here, but again, this is an alien ship, so it can be weird. It can be out of the box. And it comes with the obligatory stand. And it just says Gorn Warship on the bottom there. Well, it doesn't. It says Gorn Starship even. And it connects to the stand like so. And there it is, all on its stand. Very cool indeed. Very weird. I kept saying that. Very weird, very strange. Definitely part of the collection you should be jumping out for. So if you see this out and about, definitely pick it up. So I have prattled on way too much about this ship. So I will catch you all later. Bye for now.